Welcome back to the SPTC podcast. I am your host, Simon Phillips, and I'm going to start with a quick story because last week I had to re-record the whole first bit of the show because I said a name wrong. This week I've got another reason. I've just done 10 minutes and I had a massive bee fly in the room. And you know how flies and bees and wasps they seem really stupid, right? They can get into the smallest of gaps in your window, but then trying to get back out, oh my god, they make it impossible. So I was trying to help this bee get back out without being stung, and he had no idea where he came in, so I had to stop the show. So that was fun. But yeah, just a little story to get into things, but so much going on today, guys. Literally, so much transfer news to deliver. It's been a, a pretty hectic weekend with the Morgan Rogers news coming out. So I'll be speaking on that. I'll be speaking on Enzo Fernandez, left backs, the Pep Javaria situation, midfielders as well, new centre midfielders. I've got some info on there. I've got 4 exclusive transfer news articles out on the website sptc.news today. They're coming out over the course of this morning. They might already be out now by the time you're listening to this. So there's a lot of info. Maxence Lacroix as well, some news on that. So please do make sure you head to the website and get ready for those to drop today. I will be speaking a little bit about each story today, but I don't want to give too much away because obviously all my content that goes on the website is paywalled and people pay for it. So it wouldn't be fair for me to let everyone know exactly the whole story for everything. But I will drop little bits and pieces about it today because I do want to try and make my content more attainable for everybody. Trying to just strike up that balance between the two. That's why I've got the YouTube going. So if you're watching on YouTube, please do drop a like and a subscribe. It massively helps get the channel out there. Instagram as well, Cy Phillips Talks Chelsea, and TikTok, Cy Phillips Talks Chelsea. Obviously trying to expand and get the thing growing. So please, if you're not following me or on any of those channels, or you're just on the YouTube, or you're just on sptc.news, or whatever, please just try and join in with all of them if you can. If you haven't already, I appreciate that a lot of you already have, and honestly, I really appreciate the support, and I always have done since day one. Had the website going for like 5 years, I think now. So yeah, massive thanks to everyone. The World Cup concluded last night, and it's been an incredible competition. It's been one of the best. I think you've got to put it up there with one of the best ever. I'm not saying it was the best, but it was very entertaining from a football standpoint. From a football fan, a mutual fan, it was nice to watch games where everyone was just going at it. And yeah, I have to say, I was pleased that Spain won. Yes, I'm a bitter England fan. Still fuming from what happened with England going out. It was just nice. I didn't want Argentina to win. I just feel like, they know how to work the referee, and people call them cheats. Yeah, okay, big, strong word, but maybe there is an element of that sometimes. There's a lot of gameplay, isn't there? And they're just annoying. They're just really annoying. And I know Enzo Fernandez is still a Chelsea player. Got himself sent off last night. He splits opinions, doesn't he? Like, he really does split opinions down the middle, and you can see why people dislike him. Even a lot of Chelsea fans. I've seen a lot of match-going fans who are like, don't want him back at all. And I can understand that. I really can. We know what Enzo can do. We know he's a good player, but he's really pushed the boundaries, let's say, during this World Cup with the some of the Chelsea fans, some of the match-going fans. Let's just say that. But yeah, I was glad Spain won. So congratulations to them. England finished third. Yay! It's so typically British, isn't it, to celebrate that? It was a great game, though. I did say it was a great game. 6-4. England. But anyway, we're going to move on from the World Cup now. I know, as I always say every week, you're all here for the Chelsea content. You're all here for the transfer news. So let's get straight into that. And we can start first and foremost with the article that is actually already out on the website. Dropped this at 9:30 this morning. As I said to the guys in the Substack chat, over the weekend, I had loads of info given to me from my top source. And he is the guy that I trust the most. And he's been a top source for me for many years now, and like he's so accurate in what he sends me. So I know that all this stuff is legit, fully legit, and it will be happening. Whether it gets reported publicly or not, I don't know, because I mean Sky Sports was still trying to tell us that Palace and Chelsea were not in talks for Maxence Lacroix yet. They are. They're not just in talks for Lacroix, they're in quite advanced talks now for Lacroix. It's I did say last week it's going to progress now that the World Cup's over, and I do expect more developments during this week. But Chelsea have been speaking to Palace about a fee, and the info that I have is that it's getting closer in terms of an agreement for the fee. Palace and Chelsea have been going back and forth with the fee, and I believe that they're trying to settle somewhere around the 60 million mark, give or take, and also add-ons. So, yeah, it's positive. Chelsea are getting confident that they can get it done. At the moment, as I speak, there's been no approach from any other clubs, even though Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United and Man City all do have some interest in Lacroix. None of them have made any movements yet, and it's Chelsea who are advancing. Chelsea, the only club that have been speaking to Palace. Personal terms, absolutely fine. All verbally agreed. Player wants to move to Chelsea. He's convinced by going there. So all it is now, it just needs Chelsea to agree a fee. I did say last week that Palace have been encouraging a bit of a bidding war, and I think that might be why you're hearing the different reports about them increasing the fee, which they might have tried to do at some point. But yeah, what I'm hearing now is that we are in the final stages of the talks to agree a fee between Chelsea and Lacroix. So it is positive news on there. Chelsea ideally need to get one of their centre-backs out the door, and we believe that Trevor Chalobah is close to leaving. Not sure where he's going yet, but we do believe that he is getting closer now to departing. So that should put the dominoes in place, really, for Lacroix to join Chelsea. Hopefully we'll get some more info, and something will come out publicly on that in the next few days or weeks. But yeah, Chelsea don't want to delay it anymore, and they really need to get it pushed over the line now, because as I said, there are other clubs interested in him, and we all know as Chelsea fans, it's not done until it's done. And just like we hijacked Arsenal's move for Rodgers over the weekend, anyone could do the same for us still with Lacroix. Egbali is involved in this, by the way. That's another point on that. He's now trying to get this over the line. So yeah, hopefully we do hear some positive news on that soon. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people watched him in the World Cup and been disappointed with him. I don't think he's had a good World Cup, but it's also been difficult circumstances for him in the World Cup. I think he's a top player. I do feel that he will be a good signing for Chelsea. So hopefully we get that done. The next bit of news that I want to talk about, this article is also on the website now. So please, again, head to sptc.news and get the full story on this, because it's not just what I'm talking about. There's loads of other bits to this that you need to get the full drop on it. And even if you see people posting little bits and pieces about it, like, that's not the full story. So you need to get the full context of every story that I put out. I really do encourage you to do that. If you're able to, of course. I do appreciate some people are not able to pay for any extra subscriptions. And yeah, I'm sorry for that, but it is how I earn my money. So, yeah. But yeah, so Pep Chavaria, the left back that Chelsea have been trying to sign, I did tell you guys about a second offer that went in for him, 18 million. And at the time, I didn't know if it was rejected or not, but I've been informed now from sources that that offer was rejected by Rayo. And at the moment, it's kind of stalled. There's been nothing else sent by Chelsea. They haven't walked away from it. That has been confirmed to me. Chelsea have not walked away from this deal yet, but they have been left very. I mean, the source words were Chelsea feel that Rayo are now taking the piss with this one. And you've seen the reports about them changing, moving the goalpost on the fee and stuff like that. So there probably is an element of that, and Chelsea have become annoyed with them. I do know that initially they were annoyed with Chelsea's opening offer, so it's got tense. And the thing that could still make this happen, though, is that the player is desperate for the move. Alonso wants him, so those two making it happen could make their clubs still meet in the middle. So it could still happen, but I've also been told that Chelsea have are very open-minded to bringing in other targets at left back and pivoting to another one. Obviously, Maxi Araujo from Sporting is a player who I reported interest in, and Chelsea did have talks with Sporting regarding him a couple of months ago, or maybe about a month ago. So that's one who could easily come back into the conversation. And yeah, I've been having some whispers on Lewis Hall again. Chelsea did approach him earlier in the window, but he politely said that he didn't want to come back. However, Chelsea believe that the Alonso factor, which wasn't in place when they first spoke to Lewis Hall, could maybe help in convincing him to come. So nothing's happened there yet, but Chelsea are definitely considering the Lewis Hall route again, because he has been their number one target for left back all summer. But since he said he wasn't going to come back, Chelsea didn't keep pushing. But they may push again. They may try again if they can't get Chavaria over the line. And if they get any inkling at all from Hall that he might be open to it now with Alonso being there, then they'll go all in for him again. But yeah, there's nothing major or conclusive to report on Hall yet, but it might be one to watch in the next hours and days. It depends on Chavaria. But at the moment, Chelsea have just gone a little bit quiet on Chavaria. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. And can they use Alonso as the trump card again for Lewis Hall, as they have done with Morgan Rogers, which I'll speak on a bit more in a minute. So those are the two stories that are out now on my website as I speak, but I've got two more as well to deliver. So I'll quickly have a little chat about those ones. The next one's on midfielders. And obviously, we don't know what's happening with Enzo Fernandez yet. So a lot of this is going to depend on his future. But as I reported, Atletico Madrid are the latest club to show some interest in Fernandez. And my top source told me in all this bunch of information that he gave me on Sunday, which was incredible, by the way, so much good information, that if Atletico managed to sell Julian Alvarez, then a move for Fernandez could genuinely happen, because they would have the funds and they could go in for him and make an offer that Chelsea would be happy with. Because as we know, it's going to have to be a big offer for Chelsea to accept it. And Fernandez wants to go, but he's also come to the realization that, he could be forced to stay if no one pays his fee. So he hasn't been burning any bridges at Chelsea. He's had a good conversation with Alonso. Not a conversation that says, yeah, I'm going to stay, but a positive conversation. So if he does end up staying, the pair are happy to work together and go forward. But I still think, in the back of my mind, this is more opinion than anything else, that Chelsea do want to sell Fernandez, because I think they want the funds, and they've got some big plans in midfield, as I'm going to talk about now. And I can't personally see any of these plans coming off, really, unless they sold Fernandez and the other outgoings that they need to do. So Chelsea have got big plans in midfield. They've spoken again to the agents of Alex Scott of Bournemouth and Adam Wharton of Crystal Palace. Incidentally, I heard that both players had been asking for assurances over game time at Chelsea if they were to come. I'm not saying, by the way, that Chelsea are going for both of them. It would be one or the other, I believe. But they could still bring in two centre midfielders. And the other part of this is Chelsea are looking at a physical six. So I guess what you would call a destroyer defensive midfielder. So they could sign someone like that, and then more of a playmaker like Wharton or an Alex Scott, who's more of a midfield general, alongside more of just a destroyer, number 6, because they do feel that is a position they could still get and bring in. You've got Moises Caicedo, but I still see him as a box-to-box 8 rather than a DM. So yeah, they're trying to revamp and look at the midfield, and they've got some plans. One new name is Manu Kone of Roma. He would probably tick the physical midfielder box. So yeah, it's an interesting situation. And as I say, again, this article is out 11:30 today, Monday, on my website, sptc.news. And I've got the full story there, which has got loads of other info in as well. Yeah, interesting bits and pieces there in midfield, and we'll see if anything happens there. I said I'd start by talking about Morgan Rogers, didn't I? I'm actually ending on talking about Morgan Rogers. That's how these things go. I don't really plan shows. I just kind of get the subjects and then speak about them as they come. Morgan Rogers, I have to applaud Chelsea for this, because although he's a player that I do rate, but I've also got concerns about. He's still young, and I don't think he's the complete player yet. He's certainly not a world-class level yet, but Chelsea are spending world-class money on him. So of course I have concerns when Chelsea sign any player for that amount of money, really. But you have to applaud them for two reasons, really, two main reasons. The first being that Arsenal wanted him. He wanted Arsenal. Chelsea have managed to convince him to join. Well, Alonso has managed to convince him to join Chelsea over Arsenal without Champions League football. So we're pipping a signing from Arsenal, which alone is fantastic. Like that's old school Chelsea, isn't it? That's shithousing in a transfer window. We love to see that as a Chelsea fan. We love to see us getting a target ahead of Arsenal. So that's one reason why this is fantastic, and I have to applaud Chelsea. And the second reason is it's a statement signing. It is a statement signing. It's Morgan Rogers. It's a player who lots of other clubs are interested in. He's a high profile England international, and he's the kind of signing that Roman Abramovich would have made at Chelsea, right? He's the guy of the moment. He's available this summer. Yeah, you've got to pay some money for him, but he's still available. Chelsea have gone in and got him. It's a statement signing. It really is. Whether you rate him or not, how highly you rate him, whether you think it's too much money, for me, it is just the fact that he's a statement signing. And for that, I applaud Chelsea. I think it's great. I'm always going to do both. I criticize Chelsea a lot. That I'll always praise them where it's due, and I think here it's due. I really do. So some info to add to that, to my opinion, is, again, this is really good info that I got on Rogers this morning, and how it happened and how it all played out. The full story on sptc.news, as always, so do go and read it all. But yeah, Chelsea wanted Rogers since 2024, when he was at Middlesbrough. And then not only that, Alonso wanted to sign him at the same time, when he was at Leverkusen. So Alonso's always liked him. Chelsea have always liked him, and now Chelsea are signing him. And that kind of then makes sense why they're paying so much money for him. If Alonso has wanted him since he was at Middlesbrough, Chelsea have wanted him since he was at Middlesbrough, then you can see why they're determined to get him and pay the money to get him. I thought that was some really interesting information, that Alonso wanted him at Leverkusen as well. Obviously, he went to Villa. Chelsea tried to sign him again in the summer of 2025. There's a really annoying bit that I'm not going to say because this is all positive, but go and read it on the website. But yeah, an annoying bit that you'll be like, oh, for God's sake. But yeah, we'll keep it positive on this little update. But yeah, Rodgers having his Chelsea medical today. You'd imagine that the signing will be officially confirmed very soon after that. I think Sky Sports have had the clip this morning of Rodgers arriving for his medical at Chelsea. I think people are going to be like, yeah, okay, it's done, but it's not done until it's announced and he's got the shirt on, because, yeah, nobody wants another John Obi Mikel situation, do they, Manchester United? Yeah, I mean, we all know, we're not stupid. We all know that it's not done until he's signed and it's announced officially. But Rodgers to Chelsea, what a big signing that is, and it does remind me of classic Chelsea, and it's a real Chelsea move to get that done. So, yeah, although I don't fully rate the player yet, I'm very happy with the signing. It's the guy who Chelsea wanted all summer. He was the top target for that role. They were looking at Krupi at Bournemouth as the second choice. I did report that. So, but they're getting Rodgers, and what a signing! Ticks some boxes: physicality, Premier League proven, height, and goals and assists. Right, so. Yeah, I think I understand some people who have reservations, and also because of the price, but this is massive signing for Chelsea. So those are the three big stories I've got out on the website today. Obviously, lots of other stuff going on as well with the live blog and things coming in all the time. If you missed it as well, I had some information on the Blues News report yesterday on the website. So there's some really interesting bits on there on some backroom stuff and some reshuffles. Obviously, Bernardo Cueva has stopped being the set piece coach and gone into a more of a different kind of role, which is mysterious. And I think I've heard that Alonso wants to bring in his own guy. So whether that's another coach or at director level, we're going to wait and find out on that. But yeah, I mean, go and read about that as well, because that is some really interesting information. Former Liverpool player, Thiago, who is now the assistant manager of Barcelona. Keep an eye on him. He's a name I've been given. So yeah, definitely lots of interesting bits. I think that story might come out pretty soon. So yeah, keep an eye on. I don't know. It's going to be probably going to go in the one of the mainstream media outlets, but yeah, keep an eye on that. Very interesting. Just a short one today, guys, but it is me solo, and yeah, a lot to speak about, but I don't want to give too much of it away on this video, because, as I said, it's not fair to the people who do pay to read the content, and they always get it first. It always goes there first. I'm just trying to build the YouTube channel as well. So thanks everyone who's here for that. Please like and subscribe on this video. Share it around wherever you want. I'll be putting some little clips on Instagram later as well. So make sure you check those. And as always, thanks for joining me here today on this sunny Monday morning. And beware of the bees, guys, because they get in and don't know how to get out. Have a good one.